Morning, Milena. Morning, Rosemary. Morning, Jennifer. Morning, Maz. Someone else. Hello, you. Hello, you. Morning, Michelle. Morning. Nice morning here in Wexford. It's a bit. Doesn't really know what it wants to do here today. I think we've still got more rain to come here. It rained all day yesterday. It was horrendous. And we went to a barbecue in the evening, which was fun. But unfortunately, they had to cook everything inside. So it was lovely, really lovely, really lovely, really lovely. But yeah, spoilt it a bit because we couldn't really sit outside. But anyway, and then we watched the football, which was rubbish, wasn't it? I despair of England sometimes, I really do. Everyone gets so excited and then nothing much happens, does it? So anyway, I'm not a football lover, but obviously I like to watch the big games with everybody else. But yeah, needless to say, everyone was a bit disappointed. Morning, Christine. Morning, Jennifer. Good, looking forward to demonstration. Good. Let's wait for a few more if we can. If anyone gets the option to share, if you wouldn't mind sharing, I think it just comes up in the feed. I've noticed on other groups, when I've watched on other groups, it says, do you want to share this in your group, blah, blah, blah. So you can just click on it and share in that group. So it should come up in the, in the messages. So if anyone sees it, can you please share? It'd be lovely to share in a few groups, get a few more people involved. But yeah, I was really pleased. We hit the 3,000 members this week, so that was really nice. Well, it must be about 3,100 now already. But yeah, it's growing nice and steady. Good morning, Carol. Morning, Ines. Eileen. Morning. Right, so we're going to start. Today we're going to do just a classic posy with avalanche roses. So I'll show you I've just been flower. So the roses I'm using today are avalanche roses. These are beautiful avalanche roses. Look at these. Aren't they beautiful? They've been opening for about 2 days now, so they're just ready to use. I've got soft ruscus, and I've got limonium, white limonium, which is an alternative to gyp. It's a bit more hard wearing than gyp, so that's quite nice. I've got some orchids here, but I'm not using those, but I'm going to show you those. These are lovely to buy. If you buy these by the stem, and then you can cut individual buds off and put them into water vials, and then you can put them into your hand ties. Morning, Judith. Morning, Susan. So yeah, these are really good and really cost-effective way to put orchids into your bouquets and your arrangements. So each one is drinking separately out of the little water vial, and then it's on a stick, so you can put it into arrangements, bouquets. When these are in and they're a reasonable price, I buy them. So they're really nice, and these are really big. I think these were how much were these? I think they're about £10, but you get about 15 heads, so it's pretty good value really, and they last for weeks and weeks and weeks. So they're really good. So, but what we're going to use today is just the avalanche roses, and I've got some other green. I've got soft ruscus here, limonium, white limonium. And I've also got ruscus here that I've already cut off of other bits. I've got a little bit of ivy, which is just starting to green up now, getting ready for the winter season. And I've got some boxes as well. And again, this is very soft because this is new growth. So it's very soft, but it's quite nice for arrangements at the moment. Okay, so they're all the things I'm going to be using today. Let's put that there. So I've got a block of Oasis. And as I said before, I'm using up all the Oasis I've got at the moment, and then I'm going to start using the fibre one. It's a bit more eco-friendly than and a bit more better for your health as well. So this is a block, and literally I've just cut it in half, and then the other half I've cut in half again. So I need a half and an extra bit of a half. Because I want to make this quite big, and the roses are quite big, and this is for a diamond wedding anniversary. So instead of using the normal square round bowl, which would just hold roughly half a block or a third of a block. It keeps freezing. It's not freezing here, darling. Should be all right. So instead of using that in that little dish and it being a bit lightweight, I'm going to use this dish, and this is called, what do we call these now? These are called bulb. Where's the packet? Where's my packet now? What are these called? They're called bulb. I think they're called bulb pots. And you get about 10, but this is the small size. So I'm going to use my my half that I've already soaked in just in water and flour food, and the other half just to bulk it out. So basically I've used 3/4 of a block. All right, because I want to make this nice. So if you turn it the other way, then it just goes a little bit proud of the pot. Morning, Yvette, or good evening, Yvette, in no sound. Oh, can you not hear me? Can anybody else not hear me? Can you hear me? Can someone just tell me if you can hear me? Can you hear me? Morning, Mel. Yes, freezing on me as well. I don't know why. I've got plenty of coverage here. Yes, can hear me. Good. Okay. All right. Well, I'll carry on. Obviously, we're going to use pot tape as well. This is the pot. This is a thick pot tape that we use, which is 12mm. But I quite like to use the 7mm because it just gives more of a refined coverage. So we're going to use this today. Can hear you, but freezes every now and again. Well, it might be the phone coverage. Can hear, but not good. Not good picture. Let's see if I get any more. Is that better? Might be a bit bright though, that's the problem. That's why I put it on the side. Let's turn the... Right. I've got 5 lines on my coverage here, so it should be better there. Let it settle down. Anyway, we're going to just secure our oasis, and I like to go right the way around the pot, holding it where you started. Just go right the way around the pot and just cover where you were before, and just, I don't do two bits, I think 1 bit's enough. That's better. Oh good. Okay. Morning, Karen. I think that I've got more lines on my phone coverage here, which is what I'm using the data from my phone, so maybe that's better. Okay, all right. I just hope it's not too bright in the back. It looks like I've got a halo, like an angel halo, but maybe you can see better there anyway. Right, so we're going to outline our... Oh, I've got a fly buzzing around me now. So we're just going to use, just going to outline a little bit with the ivy first, just to get some shape. Quite long pieces. Obviously you want to cover the pot, so these need to drape down slightly just to cover your pot at the bottom. Okay. Right, well it seems to be a bit better, you're saying. I'm just going to dot these around because those ones are a bit smaller. So we're just trying to cover the bottom of the pot a little bit with the ivy. And it's quite nice because it sort of drapes down. So that's an ideal one to use. Just give it a good push in, make sure it's... Okay. Another bit there. So I'm just using this really for the bottom, just to cover the bottom of the pot really. So we're just going round, just moving it round, just covering the bottom of the pot really. So use a bit more. There's a bit of the soft ruscus as well. This is the soft ruscus. If you're not familiar with the foliages, I know a lot of you are now. That's a little bit short. I didn't do that one very long, did I? So again, we're just covering the bottom of the pot. Soft ruscus. Make sure everything that goes into the oasis is clear of your foliage, otherwise that will just make your foliage, make your oasis. It will just go mouldy in the oasis basically. So. Okay. Right, so it seems better then. So I kind of need the 5 lines on the foam coverage for the data. Then I think that's probably what it is. Right, so we put a little bit of the boxes around the edge as well. This is the boxes. Some of the longer pieces. So we just want to make sure the bottom of the pot is covered. We're just going around the bottom. Might need to get a bit more foliage. Let's see, might have enough. I've got some pistache as well I could use. So we're just having problems using my iPad. This computer not working. Think it's our area bishop. So it might be, yeah, it might be. I mean, but I'm on data, so it doesn't really, unless it's to do with the phone lines, because the internet is the Wi-Fi. So I think mine, I use the data. I don't rely on the Wi-Fi anymore because it just I just can't rely on it really. It just keeps cutting off. So just make sure just keep turning it around, making sure that your bottom of your pot, so you can still see pot here. So we can do with a few more pieces in there. You can always hold it up and just have a look around. It doesn't matter if it's if you can see tiny little bits of it, but it's going to be sitting on a table, I believe. So there we go. That's more or less it. So then we're just going to build up some slightly higher layers up on the top. So again, just pulling off all the greenery from anything that you're putting into the oasis. So nice. This is where boxes is lovely for this, because it fills right out, and it fills out from below, and it gives you nice tips. And when you're doing lots of these for a wedding or something like that, you need stuff that fills in quickly. You see how quickly that's filling in? So all of a sudden you've got like 3 layers in one. Which is what we need, which is what we like. So just get lots and lots of bits of boxes, just working your way around. Morning, Joe from New Zealand. Oh, it'll be evening now, I assume. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we're just using the greenery at the moment. I've got lots of little bits of soft ruscus that I've cut off from when I've done hand ties, because when I do the hand ties on the bottom, when you've got the this is a whole stem of soft ruscus. I'll show you. This is a whole stem of soft ruscus, so it's really nice. So when you're using wedding work, this is really lovely. So you can do all sorts of winding and winding work with these. Got a bit of wire on it, and you can cover the front of tables. Obviously, you use it in what's this foliage here? Mel, this is called soft ruscus. The other bits that I've used in here are ivy. I've got ivy, and I've got soft boxes, which grows prolifically in the UK. Although there's a big problem with boxes at the moment. I think there's all sorts of some type of really deadly blight. I was watching something on Kew Gardens the other day, and they've got rid of a lot of their boxes because it's all infected with this bug. Anyway, this is soft ruscus. So when you're doing a hand tie, you would maybe cut it here, like cut it halfway, or even, it depends how long it is, or maybe a third, and then cut all the bottom bits off, and then you just use this bit in your hand tied. So you can use all sorts of foliages for all sorts of different usages. So I quite like using the soft ruscus. Sometimes it's a bit pricey, so I don't buy it if it's expensive. But you do have to use it kind of within a week, 10 days. It starts to yellow after about 10 days. So use it up, don't leave it hanging around. It doesn't last forever. The hard ruscus, which is a different form of ruscus, that lasts for, well, can last for a month. It's really long lasting, but it's a lot more expensive, and that's the reasons why, I suppose. So right, let's use a few more of these small pieces. I've got any longer ones. So if you've got any that are about, you know, sort of 6 to 8 inches long, use them when you're doing this type of arrangement. So all I've done is I've gone all the way around. I've tried to cover as much of the bottom of the pot as possible with longer foliage. So I've used the ivy and the soft ruscas and the boxes, and then just filled in from the top just to get slightly different layers. There we go, so you can see it from the top. So you need all fancy cameras, but that's the top, so you can see. So all the way around. Okay. What does where does soft ruscus grow? Italy. A lot of it grows in Italy. I think it grows in Ireland as well. I'm not sure about the island bit, but a lot of it is imported from Italy because they have the weather there, they have the water, and they have the high temperatures. But I'm sure it's grown in lots of other countries as well. But most of it, I believe, from Holland is imported from Italy. So. Yeah, and again, this is why I'm trying to grow more English flowers myself. I'm on a course at the moment to grow more English flowers because we're trying to cut down on air mileage of all these flowers that we're importing. So maybe in a year's time, I'll just be using my own greenery, which is the boxes anyway, is in my garden, and the ivy is in my garden. So those are all grown here anyway in the UK, and they grow very quickly in my garden. But these are obviously more hardy, and if you're a florist, you will buy some imported foliage because you wouldn't have enough in the UK. We wouldn't have enough to use all year round. Okay, so that's that. Probably enough foliage. If I need a bit more, I can always put a bit more afterwards. We're going to put the roses in now. So we're going to use our avalanche roses. And these are those. These are avalanche roses, and they've been opening for about 2 days now, so they're just ready to use. And these are the most popular rose to use in wedding work. So cut it about 6-7 inches long. Get rid of any of the foliage that you don't need, and we want a nice long diagonal cut. And the bigger you can make the diagonal cut, the more water that will be taken up when you put it in. All right, so I'm going to start at the bottom because I want to make sure the bottom of my pot is covered. And again, this will cover if I've got any. So we're going to go around. I've got about 13 roses, so sometimes it depends on the size. Let's see, probably do about 5 at the bottom. So again, make sure you've got a lovely diagonal cut. Get rid of any of the foliage that's going to be going possibly into the oasis. Got one more here. So just feel the oasis with your finger before you push it in, so you know exactly where it's going. You don't want to make too many holes in the oasis. So if you use your bigger, any that are slightly more open, you can use those at the bottom. Okay, so we've got kind of 5 there at the bottom. You can see that? I'm just going to hold that up. So you've got 5 around the edge on the bottom. They don't have to be all exactly the same. Sometimes it's nice if you higgledy-piggledy them a bit. Don't do them all exactly the same. Then we go up with the next layer. Again, nice diagonal cut. Try not to cut where, like on a node. Try and do it above a node or below a node. And then what you want to do, you want to come up in between. So if you've got 2 here, you want to come up a layer in the middle of those 2. So just come up a bit and just put it in. So you're coming up into your next layer. So your 2 roses here, you've got 2 here, you want to come up in between. Move it round. Again, they don't have to be 100% even, but you've got your 2 here and you're going 1 above that layer. So these are level, and then you're just going up 1 layer. these are very big, these roses, so I'm probably not going to need 13. In fact, I know I'm not going to need 13. So I've got 5 on the bottom layer. I've got 5 on the middle layer. So you can see that's the middle layer now. I'll turn it up so you can see, all the water's going to pour out, obviously. So that's 5 on the bottom and 5 in between those on the next layer up. And then I'm just going to have one more really lovely one as the centerpiece in the middle. All right, so just cut that one a little bit longer and make sure you've got enough. Always cut it longer than you think you need it. And then didn't realise you can use boxes. Yeah, boxes. I use boxes in everything. It's a great. So you want to keep that one obviously higher now because this is your focal flower, if you like, at the top. So we've just got one in the middle. There we go. So that's really easy. You've got 5 around the edge, 5 a bit higher in between the ones that you had on the bottom, and then 1 in the middle. And because they are such big roses, see the reason why I needed that pot, the bowl, as opposed to the dish, because it would have been too much to go into one of these square round dishes. So, morning Paulette. So that is much better. These are much bigger roses. If you use smaller roses, then use that dish. But that's all we need for that, really. And then just to highlight those a little bit, we're going to just use this is white limonium, sea heather. We call it sea heather. This is a white version. It's really nice. It's just sort of like an alternative to gyp, really. So just cut some nice pieces, starting at the bottom. Don't need it quite that long. Try and get rid of all the. It makes a good dried flower, but just try and get rid of all the little straggly bits. Sorry, I'll try and get in front of the light so it's not blinding you. So just go around again on that bottom layer. It's just like painting by numbers, really. just if you make it uniform, you can always fill in extra afterwards. You don't need to complicate it. As I say, you went round on the bottom layer with your roses. Now we're just going round with a bottom layer of limonium. You can always put some more in. So that's the bottom layer there. Then go up a layer, like we did before, in between the second layer. You can see you don't actually really need much, but you can always put more in. Some of it's sort of double that I'm putting in. So just work your way around. Always keep turning it. I still need to get a turntable, but I'm not paying the prices. And they're really expensive, turntables. But I will get one. So just put a little bit, just keep moving it around. Might need 2 pieces. Morning from Ballinasloe. Very nice. What's the weather like there? The weather good. I think it's trying to brighten up here in the UK, but in Bucks. But it's been raining all day yesterday. It was really miserable. I've got 2 bits in there because that's a bit light. Okay, so we've moved around the second layer, and all we've done is put a little piece of limonium in between the bottom layer roses and then the second layer roses. So now we can fill in with a bit more around the top. And the good thing about this is it's very hard wearing. You bought a wooden turntable from IKEA. Not sure. Ooh, what did you put? Not sure why it's meant to be for, but I've had it years for my flowers. Oh, okay. Maybe I need to look in IKEA. I haven't been in IKEA for probably 3 years now with the pandemic and everything anyway. But I'm itching to get back there and see what they've got, see what pots they've got. Really reasonable. Ooh, okay. Right, maybe I need to look in there then. To be very honest, until I started doing demonstrations, if it's just me working, I mean, I don't need a turntable to show anybody, but it's just really for demonstration purposes, really. It's you need, it makes it easier to turn around to show people on the videos a bit. Right, all I'm doing now, yeah, lazy Susan, yeah, I know, certain places sell them and they're really expensive. I don't know why they're expensive. But you get good and bad ones, I know. Right, so we're just filling in all the way around. You can put a little bit more greenery if you don't want too much white going in. You can put in a little bit more greenery. Oh, I've got a blue bottle in here. It keeps buzzing around if you can hear him. It's getting on my nerves now a little bit. Doesn't want to go in. There we go. What I need to do, I think, is put a bigger bit there. That's what it needs. It needs a bit more. That's it. It needs something a bit more bushy. A bit of ivy now is a little bit hanging out a little bit, so I'm just going to try and push him in a bit more, just so that it's a bit more uniform on that side. There we go. And see how simple that is? I think I told somebody once before, when I started doing posies, they turned it out like footballs. They were like really round. I mean, this is quite round, but that's because of the size of the roses, more so than anything else. But this is in proportion now. But when I did them before, they used to be like actual football shape. So they used to be skinny at the bottom and then round. I still thought they were brilliant. When you first start, you think, oh, that looks good. And then when you look back, you think, well, it's not quite right. So we're all learning. So, but have a go at this. It's just get some cheap roses from Aldi's or Lidl's or somewhere, and have a go. You can't really go wrong. And get some free foliage where you live. I'm sure there's bits somewhere around where you live. You'll probably find boxes without even knowing it's there. People grow it, use it for hedging and all sorts of things. Okay, so just keep moving it around. If you keep seeing a little hole, put a little bit more in. Not long enough. Groupon $4.99 cake stand does the same thing. Oh, okay. Maybe I need to look on there. It's just having the time for all these things, isn't it? Find that now I'm doing this, growing a lot more flowers in my own garden. My whole time is spent now nurturing my plants. All my dahlias are all coming up now, which I'm really pleased with. They've all come out of sleepiness from their tubers, so they're all doing well. Just got to try and keep the slugs off them now. That's the next bane of my life, keeping the slugs off. But I've nematoed the ground. I don't know if you know what nematodes are, but they're like a natural predator that kills slugs under the ground. So, well, there's all different types of nematodes, but that's just one of them, which I was told is a very good one. So I've done that. So it has helped. It has definitely helped. This bit of greenery is not doing what I want it to do, so I'm going to move it. That's better. That's better. And just move it around and just use your eye just to see if there's anything that you think could do with something in there. There's a bit of greenery off there. I'm going to just push in there. Just do a little bit more limonium there. But just use your eye and just go round, just move it round. Just keep moving, keep moving. If anything doesn't look quite right, just move it a little bit. If you've got any leaves that are on your roses that look a bit, see, this one's just got sort of a little bit of broken on the edge, because it's going as somebody's buying this, then obviously I'm just making sure that it's 100% accurate. These when you buy roses, they come with what they call guard petals or weather petals, and these are like darker petals on the edge, and these are what protect the rose when it's growing, and they're a bit hardier, they're a bit harder, and I quite like to keep these on, but some people take them off. Some people see that one's got like pink on the edge, and some people think that's sort of gone off, but in actual fact that's keeping the rose tight. It's keeping it buddy. So as soon as you remove, if you want the rose to open, then take off these guard petals and the rose will open quicker. But if you want to keep it more like that, more bud shaped, more perfect in fact, leave these on. Don't take them off. Take them off when you need to, when you're selling it or when you're giving it away in your bouquets or whatever. But I don't remove those until I really have to. And then sometimes I say I quite like them, so I leave them on. But some people see that sort of ready marking and they think, oh, it's gone off, but it hasn't. There we go. Eggshells broken up. Yeah, they're quite good. Yeah, they're quite good. Lots of grit. I use lots of grit. And that does seem to help. So that's the basic posy. So how long did that take? Half an hour. There we go. Half an hour. So you can all have got one of those. And because this is actually going as a gift for a diamond wedding anniversary, I'm using these. If you can see these. These are heart-shaped, if I can get it open. Heart-shaped diamantes. Can you see them? They're like little earring studs. So we're going to just put one of these. This is what the customer wanted. These. I don't always like using these, but the customer asked for these, so I'm going to use them. So they just go into the very centre of your rose. Just push gently. Don't push too deep. Just let it sit on the edge. So you can see. So just do those all the way around, turning them the right way up. So when the person looks at it, they see the heart the right way around. So just put one into the centre. Try not to damage any of the petals. Just keep moving it around. Morning, Annie. Right, just hold the rose as you do it. Push it in and turn it round so it's the right way round. Okay. So there's quite a few diamond wedding anniversary things coming up. There we go. I say just into the centre of the rose. Just push it in gently, just so that it sits right on the edge. You're very welcome, Marlene. And that, basically, once you put your little diamonds in, is your posy. And that's just a white avalanche. How many roses do I use? So I use 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I used 11 because I had 13. I thought maybe I'd use 13, but I've used 11. So 11 large avalanche roses, and that's a big posy. And you would sell that for 35, 40 pounds, that sort of size. I've done this one, and I did a hand tied in the same roses for the same lady, customer in the village, and that's for her mother's mother and father's golden wedding. All right, so I'm going to fill that up with some more water, which I've just seen. Holder. I'm going to fill that up with some more water with flower food in it. So when it goes on their table, they haven't got to worry about it. Keep it topped up with water. And as I say, the limonium is hard wearing. It should probably last a lot longer than the roses. So that's it. So hope you like that. Excuse me. So that's a posy, classic posy, white roses, done for a diamond wedding anniversary. Okay, hope you liked it. Have a lovely, lovely day. Hope the sun starts shining. I don't know if it's going to do that here in Bucks, but you know, you might be lucky. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you all next week. Bye, everyone. Bye. If you've asked any questions and I haven't seen them, I'll answer them afterwards. All right. Okay, have a great day. Bye. Bye-bye.